If all you know about Jackson Healthcare is what you've seen in the ads, I'd like to say something to you. For the past 4 months, I have sat back and I have remained silent as these attacks have aired week after week. I followed the advice of my team and haven't dignified them by speaking publicly. And if I'm honest, I've actually been pretty proud of myself for the self-discipline and restraint that I have shown. But tonight I have this microphone. So I want to say this very clearly. Everything that has been said about our companies is a complete and total lie. And in my experience, when someone is willing to lie to you like that, they have told you everything you need to know about their character. We have a lot of our Jackson Healthcare folks in the room tonight. And for those of you here and those of you that aren't here, I want to say this to you for a minute. We know who we are. And we know we have built a special and unique. Every day we are fulfilling our mission of improving the lives of everyone we touch. And more than ever, I am proud to be JH. Yes. Okay, back to the topic at hand. Sorry, but I do feel a little better now. One of the incredible things about my role in leading our business is the platform that it's created. We're one of the largest private companies in the nation. And because of that, I get invited to speak all over the country and even the world about leadership. I've learned that there's often confusion between authority and leadership, and I just for a moment want to explain the difference. So people are compelled to follow someone with authority. We do what they tell us to do because they have power over us. In contrast, people choose to follow a leader. So it's something I've told people for years. For someone to choose to follow a leader, 3 things must be true. The leader must be going somewhere they want to go. They must believe the leader actually knows how to get there. And they must believe the leader cares enough about them to take them along. In other words, authority is all about the person with authority. Leadership is all about other people. Now, as we expected, this race is going to go to a runoff. And the choice between these 2 candidates couldn't possibly be greater. In 1 month, Georgians will get to choose. Do we want someone who time and again uses authority to pursue their own desires? Or do we want a leader who's focused on the needs of others?
Yes. Did you switch? Yes, yes. Are we coming to me or Deidre?
Someone who understands that power.
There's Shirley. Well, good evening. It's almost 9 o'clock, and I wanted to update you on some of the breakdowns for tonight. We've seen a little bit over 2. That breaks down about 53% Democrat, 44 Republican, and the remainder, of course, nonpartisan. We have at this point 33 counties who have not yet submitted either early voting or their full or their day of voting. So we're hanging on, waiting for them to report in. An update on Fulton County. They have informed us that they will not be reporting results until their polls close at 11:02. And I think they're going to be talking to the press, I hear it about 9:15, I just heard on the way up here. So a few minutes ago, it was 40 counties that hadn't yet reported in. Now we're down to 33. And I imagine by the time we get back downstairs, it will be less than that. But Fulton is still out. DeKalb has reported some. Cobb has reported some. Hall and Newton, there's nothing in on them at all. So we're still waiting for those counties to report in. So I can expect we'll see, fluctuation in results. I just can't tell you just how much at this moment.
They're required by law to have reported those by 8. This is not the first election where we've done this now. Is there a concern there that these counties are not getting that done, meeting their legal expectation?
Blake, do you want to comment on? I know that the counties that had to stay open later, right? They don't have to necessarily need that time.
With Cobb, that's passed too, and Hall and Newton, they're.
So there's a caveat in the law for instances where polling locations are and their interpretation of it, their attorney's interpretation of it, is that they needed to hold the results until their last poll closed. We've been in numerous discussions with them, our attorneys and their attorneys, and that's where they're at right now. And so that's what they're letting be known publicly, that they're releasing results when their last poll closes.
In all 33 counties?
No, that is specifically related to Fulton
the point
County.
is that we know Fulton's got its own issue, but there are a lot of counties that didn't meet their
correct.
obligations.
Now, in those other counties, they should have reported their results by 8 p.m. I know that our staff is in close communication with them. They are working to report the results as quickly as they can. They obviously missed that 8 p.m. deadline, but they're still working to get their results in as soon as they can.
When it comes to Fulton, do you all have a different legal interpretation of this than they do?
We've been looking at it with them, and that's the decision that their attorneys made. I'll let Ms. McGowan speak if she wants to on the law, but that's their interpretation.
Has their lawyer been able to cite the statute that he's going off of?
I believe it's 21-2-483. 493.
And what does that say?
Would you like to-
Particular statute speaks to when tabulation is supposed to start occurring and has the specific provision of when advance voting results are supposed to be reported, and it's either by 8 p.m. or whichever is later. So that is what Fulton County is, at least in our discussions with them, is relying on.
They also seem to cite an election board rule 183.112.12D. Is there, if you could add further clarity about what that might mean here too?
Yeah, we've discussed that rule with them as well. It does seem to allow for some more advanced reporting, and so we've encouraged them to look at that to see if that does allow them to start reporting at least some initial results to us, and we have encouraged that.
My recollection is that counties did a great job of meeting the 8 p.m. deadline in prior elections, but now they're not doing such a great job. What's the difference?
So I think a little bit of what you're seeing is that this is the primary election. This is the start of a new election cycle. And so when you get to a general election, by that time, counties have been through a primary election.
Thank you very much.
We are in a runoff.
I appreciate so much. This means a lot to me. Thank you. Barely more than 100 days ago, we sent an earthquake through the political establishment when we entered the race. I think it's safe to say we shook up the career politicians and insiders to their core. But the job is not done. We have 28 days to finish it, and the choice could not be more clear or more important. Burt Jones is a political insider who's been in office for 14 years, working inside the system for his own benefit while promising tax relief and failing to deliver. I'm the opposite. I don't owe the lobbyist anything. I don't need the establishment's permission. I cannot be bought, and I will not back down. President Trump deserves a governor in this state who will do more than take a picture, use his name, but not put in the work. That's right. This weekend, my opponent said he was going to win without a runoff. Well, no surprise, Burt was all talk and no results. And I have news for Burt. He isn't going to win the runoff either. We beat the odds tonight, and we're going to win on June 16th. And when we win, President Trump will be a winner. That's right. I'll be President Trump's favorite governor. When he looks at Georgia, he'll see a state that is leading the nation, led by an outsider. As governor, I'll be like Trump, but with a Southern tone. I'll bring a business mindset to Georgia and partner with him to deport criminal illegals, cut taxes, crush woke ideology, and support law enforcement. I know what it means to be forgotten. I had 7 different stepfathers and a mother who battled alcoholism. I lived with 5 different foster families and attended 13 different schools. I know what it's like to wonder whether anybody sees you. But with God's help, I built a business, created thousands of Georgia jobs, and lived the American dream. I don't need the money. I don't care about the title. I'm running to make a difference in the lives of 11 million Georgians because I know what opportunity can do when somebody finally gets a fair shot, and I know what happens when the government forgets who it serves. Burt Jones has forgotten. He had years to deliver real property tax relief. He had the title. He had the office. He had the power. He could have done this in this session, but what happened? He killed a good House bill, and then he started bragging about it. That's the difference between us. Burt Jones talks about tax cuts like it's a political bumper sticker, but I know talk never paid a bill. I will cut income and property taxes, or I won't run again. As governor, I will freeze property taxes immediately and then work to lower them so families aren't priced out of their homes. If you bought your home, paid your mortgage, raised your family, and played by the rules, the government should not punish you because politicians can't control spending. I will cut the income tax by 50% in 4 years and put Georgia on a path to eliminate it within 8. Work should be rewarded. Families should keep more of what they earn. We will get it done the way a businessman knows how, setting priorities, holding people accountable, cutting waste, using technology, finding fraud, shrinking bureaucracy, and making every agency justify every dollar they spend. Every dollar government wastes was earned by a Georgian, and I will never forget that. But this runoff is about more than taxes. It is about who you trust to fight for you. The insiders want a governor that they own. The lobbyists want a governor who will do what they say. The political class wants somebody who protects the club, and Burt Jones wants to keep making money for his family. I don't care about joining their club. In fact, I'm running to break it up. Over the last 100 days, I've talked to thousands of Georgians. I've heard their stories, and I'm running to fight for them. Their fight is my fight. I care about the mom working 2 jobs who needs groceries to cost less and schools to teach, not to indoctrinate. I care about the dad who wants his kids safe, supports the police, and wants criminals held accountable. I care about the young people trying to buy their first home, and the child in foster care who needs somebody in power to remember they exist. I care about the widows who fear losing their home because they can't afford crushing property taxes and want someone to listen to them for once. I care about our law enforcement and first responders on the front lines who protect us but don't get the respect or the resources they deserve, especially as they battle against mental health crisis. We will always support those who protect us, and we will give our veterans the support they deserve. In the weeks ahead, Burt Jones will come after us even harder than he already has because he doesn't want his cartel broken up. It's what politicians always do. Every time he attacks, remember why. Burt is a career politician desperate to cling to power so he can profit off of it. I'm an outsider who's going to shake things up. To everyone who voted for another candidate tonight, I'm asking for your vote on June 16th. If you believe property taxes are out of control, I'm asking for your vote on June 16th. If you believe we should cut the income tax, clean up government, ban the religion of woke ideology, back the police, and put hardworking Georgians first, I'm asking for your vote on June 16th. This runoff is our chance to choose a servant leader over a self-serving politician and finally lower taxes. Fighting tough fights is what I've done my whole life, but it's not about me. As governor, I'll win those fights for you. Thank you so much. God bless you, God bless Georgia, and God bless the United States of America.
red state, business-friendly state, and one that we'll continue to love and raise our families in. So I greatly appreciate everyone being here tonight, and I greatly appreciate your support. We're going to continue to watch these results. Like I said, I think we're going to be the top vote getter, and I think there is an opportunity based on today's votings for us to get to that 50+1. But if we don't get there, rest assured, I am looking forward to this next 3 weeks and campaigning around the state. So thank y'all very much, and God bless. All right, let's go in. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody enjoy. Turn on the music.
All right, good. So I can barely hear them, but
Good stuff. Well, I want to let you know that I'm excited about several things tonight. Number one is that all of you here, my supporters, are here, and thank you for your support. And we've had, strong support, but not enough support throughout Georgia. And then my other highlight is this is Tricia, and she's with me. And Tricia and I have, basically, we met in high school, started dating in 12th grade, and we got married when I was halfway through engineering school. We've lived life, and we are just excited, for our kids and our grandkids. And I think the long and short of what we found out tonight is that I'm going to be traveling more with Tricia on her photography trips than I would have otherwise. And that's okay, because I get to spend more time with Tricia, and that's the blessing. So she's blessed me, and she's just a tremendous wife, tremendous mother, and that's what life is about. It's really about family. It's about our country, and it's about having friends like you to stand with me and believe in me. And our message came up short, and we don't dwell on it. We just kind of move on. But we realize everyone's talking about America 250, and this is a great country. It was founded by great people. They didn't think themselves great, but they had these great ideas about liberty, freedom, the whole idea of having a constitution and rules and parameters, and then you could change the rules and the laws if you didn't like them. It's a tremendous country, and we get to celebrate it on July 4th, and I think that's what makes America so special. And I'm glad that I get to participate as your Secretary of State. It's been a tremendous honor. And if I look at everything that we've done, we've improved the process. We took a good system and we just made it a little bit better. And I think that's really the American way in America. Whatever you have, if it's business, in your church, in your faith, wherever that is, or in the world of politics, is making things a little bit better for your fellow American. And that's why America continues to just reach higher and higher levels. And it's exciting to see where we're going to be in the future. And so someone will be able to build on that in Georgia, and that's a good thing. And then someone obviously will be building that hopefully in Washington, D.C. But I would say, if I was going to give any advice tonight, I just wish those folks in Washington, D.C. could talk a little bit nicer to each other and actually get something accomplished for the rest of us. Because in Georgia, Governor Kemp is leaving a great legacy. He's done a tremendous job of leadership, and I just want to give a shout out to him for his leadership and what he has done for us in Georgia. But folks, with that, thank you so much for being here, and God bless you, and thank you for your support. And for any folks out there in TV land that catch this, if you voted for me, thank you. You believed in me, thank you. Donors, thank you for believing in us, because we couldn't do it all ourselves. But we put on a good fight. But just remember, great quarterbacks like Tom Brady didn't win every single game, and so sometimes it doesn't go your way. God bless you all. Thank you for coming tonight. Okay, sure.
Could you just give us your assessment of this race? Why do you think you didn't make it to the runoff?
Well, I think at the end of the day, some people were still living back about 6 years ago talking about 2020. And then when a fellow got in and he dropped $100 million, that says an awful lot. And then obviously Bert's dad, had to cough up a lot of money. And so you're really looking at what, $130 to $150 million that is out there. It's tough to get your message out. We had a good race under normal times, but we felt like we had a good message. And so it's just one of those things. At the end of the day, I'm okay. And I think you can tell that I am okay.
And Secretary, where do your voters go from here? What do you advise them to do now?
Well, actually, I don't advise them to do anything except to vote, because I have been holding two hats, Secretary of State hat and candidate for governor hat. But as Secretary of State, we don't endorse. I never have endorsed. And sometimes it got me in hot water with people in my party. So I'm just going to go back and put on my Secretary of State hat. And I still have about 7 months left in office, and we want to finish strong. Tonight, a few of the counties had trouble reporting as they're required by state law, that early voting, getting it up by 8 p.m. So we're going to be working on that, for the remainder of the year. Right now, we are investigating that $140 million Ponzi scheme with First Liberty, building a loan, and we're trying to close that up and get that wrapped up, and put a bow around it, because we're trying to get as much of that money back where people were defrauded. And so that's important. And then just making sure on professional licensing, we've taken, that from the licensing time and reduced it tremendously, and just continue to kind of hone that in. So, when we pass that on to the next Secretary of State, we're going to leave it much better than we found it. And we want to thank Governor Kemp for making sure we had the resources to do what we need to do to improve our office.
There are a lot of people out there still mistrusting elections, sowing distrust in the integrity of the elections. what do you think your loss signifies for that movement or the integrity of future elections?
Tonight, everyone that won, and everyone that lost. There's no doubt in my mind. We have photo ID for all forms of voting. I'm the first Secretary of State to do citizenship verification, just to verify that only American citizens were on the voter rolls. We have a verifiable paper ballot, and we actually can do an audit, with enhanced voting and read all 5 million ballots that we had in 2024. We can do all the ballots that we had tonight, and just verify these are the votes of the people. This is who they chose for these races. So at the end of the day, I know it was a free and fair election tonight. No doubt in my mind at all.
We had three leaders in Georgia, Governor Kemp, yourself, and Attorney General Carr, who stood up to President Trump after the 2020 election, stood for the truth about what had happened. Y'all, next year, none of you will be in office, it looks like. What does that mean, and why do you think that's happened?
I just think it's terms are up, and so it's a changing of the guard and turning over a new leaf. So we'll have new people with new plans, new hopes, new visions, and we'll just see where it goes.
Does that concern
I hope for
you
the
about
best.
The future of the state?
Well, I hope for the very best, because this is a great state. See, Tricia and I moved here from Northern Virginia in 1982, and one child, and the second one about 7 months on, about 6 months pregnant, and but this is where we had our first business, a child care center. Then we started my construction business, and we've just fully invested in Georgia. It's been a great state for us. This is where I basically got back to my dad and mom brought us up in the faith, or me brought me up in the faith, but it just rekindled my faith in Christ and just really deepened it. And like I told everyone, I'm a conservative Christian businessman, and I'd say Christian is the most important aspect of it. And I say a big part of that was just meeting all the people that are here tonight, people of good values that just kind of led me to Christ and just really give my heart to Christ. And I think that's really important. I can't say enough good things about Georgia. We have good people here. We got a great economy, and I think we're going to continue to be, the keystone of the Southeast, the major cog that makes the whole Southeast work. And so we're positioned very well.
I've spoken to a few people tonight who feel like you're one of the only politicians that in the Republican Party that they feel like they can trust, that they can count on. What do you have to say to those folks who are disappointed about this result?
Well,
what can you offer them?
I love America, and I know they do too. And I always believe in the best, because at the end of the day, America keeps on moving forward. Sometimes we don't get it right, and whatever that is, I think, one of the former British prime ministers talked about us, whenever all else felt, Americans will finally do the right thing. But, America's a great country. Georgia's a great state. So I don't worry about it too much.
Do you worry for yourself? Like even today on social media, there's a lot of, Brad Raffensperger in jail because of this bunker idea and where the votes are being counted. Like the issue seems to come up over and over again in a way that's specifically targeted at you.
Well, no, there's just a lot of silly talk, and it's tough. How do you respond to silly talk?
Don't respond. Anybody else?
God bless you. God bless you all. Good night. Thanks.
Thanks for running.
I think Georgia just spoke, y'all. And they spoke loud and clear that Georgia's not for sale. It's not for sale. It is so good to be here. I don't know where to begin. Look, the numbers are coming in. They're still coming in. But obviously, we feel very good about where we are right now. Obviously, leading in the early voting when our opponents probably had the most momentum is something that we quite frankly didn't expect. But it's coming in strong. And today's vote, it looks like so far we've got about a 2-to-1 advantage in the early and today's vote alone. Yeah, give that one. And so I really do feel really good about being able to say that we're going to be the top vote getter, and we just might get to that 50 plus 1 vote right here. And I want to tell something before I start talking about, what the next couple of weeks could look like. I want to give my wife and our 2 children, Banks and Stella, again, y'all give them a big round of applause right here. The reason why, if we don't pull it out tonight, if we don't squeak it out tonight, why I'm so confident that we'll get it done in 3 weeks is because I don't know if y'all remember who was here at the kickoff party that we had back when we opened this campaign at Indian Springs, but I told you about our family business, and I told you about our local community, and I told you about the light that always shines the farthest, shines the brightest at its base. And let me tell you something, the reason why I know we're going to win is because of friends and family members that are standing back here and they're out here in this audience right now. You're the reason why we're going to win, and I don't care how much money it's in. Because real friendship and family members that stick together, they always find a way. I don't care. You couldn't give me $100 million for the people behind me right here at this table. But they're going to learn that very, very soon, because I look forward to, if we don't squeak it out tonight, because I'm very optimistic, there's an opportunity there to do that. If we don't squeak it out tonight, I love getting this guy one-on-one. I can promise you that. So, I've been looking for that. Because like I said, we've had over $100 million spent against us. Most of them are attack ads on myself, my family, just whatever they could make up. Didn't matter what it was. Just the wildest. Jan and I would wake up in the mornings and wonder, what are they going to come up with next? And we had to start laughing about it because it got to be so comical. But I'm so proud of Georgia voters for realizing that Hollywood production over there is nothing like the genuine article that you have right here. I'm the workhorse. I'm the workhorse in this race, and people should not forget it. I could not leave this stage without thanking President Donald J. Trump for his undivided. He didn't just endorse me once, not twice, not 3 times, even 4th time. I was so honored to have that. He even put out a video today, and the pundits are still wondering if he's going to stay with me or not. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. I want to thank all my county captains. I want to thank the elected officials that were here today. Everybody got to see Russ Goodman here. Russ, he's been on our radio station 2 or 3 times now. I think we're going to end up adopting him here in this county. Everybody asked me, is that guy really, he's a professional, isn't he? He's a professional. I was like, he's a professional blueberry farmer for sure, yeah. But I want to thank everybody for that supported us, all our volunteers from all across the state. That's why I knew we would run strong, because many of you who are here in this room tonight were with us 4 years ago when we ran for lieutenant governor. And guess what? You know what we did? We did exactly what we said we were going to do. We said we were going to cut taxes. We said we were going to get rid of regulations. We said we were going to pass school choice. We said we were going to be tough on public safety. And we also assured you that we were going to have voter integrity back in this state right here. And we're very, very close right now to being your nominee, and we want to be your next governor too. So thank y'all very much. And when I tell people we delivered on our promises 4 years ago, and we'll deliver on our promises this next 4 years, because look, I am one of those people who, when I tell you I'm going to do something, I deliver on it each and every time. And I want to appreciate all the support from I've had the people. And I tell people also this too. Let me back up. And I tell people this too. Ask anybody who served with me, and ask people who have done business with us, and they will tell you the kind of character that we have right here on this stage, because it was instilled in us by this man behind us right now. And our mother, who I wish could be here tonight, she has dementia, and I went to go see her earlier today, and I said, Mama, we gonna win? She goes, that's all you do. But she would enjoy this right now, because, like I said, she would enjoy more seeing all of her children up here, siblings and their extended family right here. Because, like I said, we're a team effort right here, and we always have been, we always will be. But the main thing we're longtime Georgians that love this state, and we're Georgians that believe in this state and believe that the great run that we've had for the last decade, it can continue on. It can continue on to the next 8 years if y'all give me the opportunity, and trying to cut taxes, having great economic opportunities, making Georgia the hub of the Southeast, and Georgia is that right now. We want to make it even better, because the reason why people want to come to this state in droves is because it's a great state to live, it's a great state to raise a family, it's a great state to start a business, and we want to continue down that road. I've said it all the time. Whoever the next governor is not inheriting a bad situation. They are not inheriting a broken Pontiac here. They got a pretty good Cadillac here to get into, and the only thing they got to do is not mess it up. And I can tell you right now, the thing that worries about the people I've run against, both Republican and Democrats, is I don't think they have that same grit about them to make sure that Georgia stays a red state, business-friendly state, and one that we'll continue to love and raise our families in. So I greatly appreciate everyone being here tonight, and I greatly appreciate your support. We're going to continue to watch these results. Like I said, I think we're going to be the top vote getter, and I think there is an opportunity based on today's votings for us to get to that 50+1. But if we don't get there, rest assured, I am looking forward to this next 3 weeks and campaigning around the state. So thank y'all very much, and God bless.
A grill, they're about a...
about staying focused on policy, right? That's what we're talking about. That's how we're going to change the direction of the state and in this country, is to talk about the issues that matter most, and we will continue to do that through this entire process. The affordability crisis, the healthcare crisis, and yes, the Donald Trump crisis are absolutely breaking this country and folding us at our knees. And so we need to have folks elected that can stand up and do the right thing. So thank y'all so much for the opportunity to be here. We're going to be as excited to watch the results as you guys are. But know from the Duncans, we are grateful for every single one of you in this room.
everybody for being here. It is so humbling to see so many faces here that have helped us on this amazing journey, made phone calls for us, door knocked, waved signs, raised dollars, opened up your homes, opened up your Rolodexes, and gave us a shot. And that's exactly what we needed, was a shot. So we've obviously got a long night ahead of us. We've got so many other counties that have to get counted, and there's more math to be done. But I leave here tonight so encouraged at the progress that we've made. We've brought up a very difficult conversation about staying focused on policy, right? That's what we're talking about. That's how we're going to change the direction of the state and in this country, is to talk about the issues that matter most, and we will continue to do that through this entire process. The affordability crisis, the health care crisis, and yes, the Donald Trump crisis are absolutely breaking this country and folding us at our knees. And so we need to have folks elected that can stand up and do the right thing. So thank you all so much for the opportunity to be here. We're going to be as excited to watch the results as you guys are. But know from the Duncans, we are grateful for every single one of you in this room that have given us a chance to earn your vote, but more importantly, earn your trust. Thank you for being on the journey with us.
And with a couple 100,000 votes left to be counted, we still have a while to go. But I didn't want you waiting here all night until we got the results. So I wanted to come out and thank all of you for the movement that we have built together. From Atlanta to North Georgia to Middle Georgia to the coast all the way down south. People have coalesced around a message and a campaign that restores hope, that stays focused on the issues that people care about the most, that believes that if we invest in ourselves and invest in our families, we can build a better Georgia for all of us. I want to make sure to thank the main folks in my life who keep me going each and every day. My beautiful wife, Ariel. The beautiful nurse from Albany, Georgia. And my children, Jaden and Zoe. Of course, you can tell who runs the household. I also want to make sure to shout out my dad, who's in the room as well, right over there. My brother and sister, Jennifer and Armando. My mother-in-law, Valeria, over there. And I want to make sure to shout out my mom, Linda, who recently passed away. But as y'all know, my parents instilled the values that I've taken with me all along my life. And I am so grateful to my parents, but especially to my mom, for the journey that I've been on to leave my community better than how I found it. I also want to make sure that we recognize a couple of the folks who have endorsed my campaign. Representative Betsy Holland, Cobb County Commissioner Eric Allen, APS school board members Jessica Johnson, the chair, and Ken Zeff, the vice chair. Atlanta City Councilwoman Ishay Collins. Former colleagues Cynthia Briscoe Brown and former City Council President Doug Shipman. I want to thank Jerry Gonzalez from Galileo Impact Fund. I want to thank Temby and the folks from Unite Here. And I want to thank Paul Grant from the United Campus Workers and their members from the Gwinnett campus. But most importantly, I want to thank all of you, because the momentum that we've seen in this campaign is not possible without each and every one of you. The folks who volunteered to knock on doors, to write postcards, and to spread our message online. The voters who made your voices heard at the ballot box, and the hardworking people all across this state who believe in our vision. I am so grateful from the bottom of my heart that all of you have poured so much into this campaign. This race is too close to call, with many votes that are left uncounted. But I know that the wait may sometimes feel scary, but we must remain confident that our election process, as we wait for results, will play out in our favor. I am grateful to the election workers. Shout out to all the election workers. Let's give them folks who are tirelessly working to make sure that each ballot is counted this evening. We will continue to keep a close eye on the results, and when there's news to share, we'll make sure that you hear it from me. But what I do know is that this campaign has received a broad base of support all across Georgia, from voters who are excited about a new generation of leadership. Y'all, I am extremely proud of the campaign that we've built. Because of all of your hard work that all of you have put in, we gained momentum throughout this campaign. And we have the political winds on our back. And y'all, there's no way that I could have made it to this point without each and every one of you. And I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but I'm so grateful for all of you for your support. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to stick around. You know me. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to give you hugs. I'm going to stick around for a little bit. But y'all, let's drink, let's celebrate, and let's be merry. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Let's start again. Let's get it cranked up. Well, like most of y'all in this room, about a year ago, I was reaching out to Mike Collins and I said, Congressman, you've got to run for the Senate seat. you are the guy who can beat Teflon John Ossoff, and it's time to get this thing going. And I can tell you, I was so excited when he called me last summer and said, Ben, we're going to do it. We're going to need your help. We're going to need everybody's help, but we're going to do it. We're going to take the seat back, the seat that we should never have lost. And so I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be with this team. And the one thing I love about Mike Collins is he is the most genuine person you've ever met. He would do anything for anyone in this room. He would do anything for anyone in the state of Georgia and for this country. And that's the kind of person, that's the kind of leader that we need in Washington, D.C. We don't need somebody up there that's got to poll it to find out who his principles are. And Mike Collins is the guy. And so I'm here to introduce a man of faith, a man of family, the conservative workhorse in the state of Georgia, and your next Republican senator from the great state of Georgia, Mike Collins.
Thank you, Georgia. Man. Wow, what a crowd. Appreciate y'all coming out tonight. I want to first of all thank my family, the elected officials that are here, the staff, convoy captains that are out there. Yes, everyone who has made this grassroots campaign a success. I also want to thank my colleague, Congressman Buddy Carter, for his efforts in running, and General McCollum out there. Thank you for also getting involved in this race. You know, I started this campaign almost 10 months ago with a mission. And that was to deliver Georgia a workhorse. Someone who has been in tough fights and come out on the top, and someone that has always put the people of Georgia first in everything they've done. And y'all, tonight we are one step closer. Now, every single day, week, and month of this campaign, we have had to prove the naysayers wrong. I mean, the folks out there that have been saying that some congressman from right here in Butts County, this barely finished his first term, could organize statewide, could build the coalition, or could even take on the machine and win. Well, we've proven them wrong every step of the way. And listen to me now, when you hear people talk about how much money John Ossoff has, remind them of the results tonight, that the winning campaign did the most with the least. We were outspent 15-1, outmatched, but I tell you what, not outworked. I'll tell you why I'm successful. You see, I took that experience of being in one of the most regulated and taxed industries out there to Washington, D.C., and I was able to get 2 pieces of legislation signed into law by 2 presidents from 2 different parties in just 2 years. The Trank Act, it helps local law enforcement out there fight these deadly drugs that are killing our communities. And the Lakin Riley Act, which you know is named for a young nursing student that was murdered in my district by some illegal that Joe Biden and John Ossoff led into this country. And it just simply makes sure that these illegal, violent criminals are picked up and deported sooner. And y'all, that was the very first piece of legislation that President Trump signed when he returned to the White House. And in just 1 year, that Lakin Riley Act has been responsible for removing over 20,000 illegal criminals from our streets. And you see, those bills, they didn't just pass because I dropped them in the hopper, went and did a press conference and called it a day. I mean, I knew I could get Lake and Riley passed with just party line votes. But I also knew that I needed leverage in the Senate, so I went and got Democrats. I went door to door and made sure that that piece of legislation was passed in a bipartisan fashion. I mean, y'all, I had Democrats tell me that, hey, I've never seen a Republican in here pushing their own bill. But I had others, like John Ossoff, who just sat there quietly while I explained to him how this was going to help our constituents to make sure that another Georgia life wasn't lost at the hands of some illegal alien out there. You see, that's the difference, y'all. That's the difference in someone being in the private sector, in a do-or-die business where if you mess around and make the wrong decision, then you go out of business. That's just something you don't see in Washington, D.C. Listen, I am so proud that our campaign has been supported out there by Lake and Riley's family, by the National Border Patrol Council, Turning Point Action, which was founded by Charlie Kirk. Yeah, that's worth it. Yeah. CPAC, Club for Growth, Newt Gingrich, over 200 local and state officials, and many of them are here with us tonight. You see, they're with me because they know that I deliver results. I know how to win. If I say I'm going to do something, I get it done. It's just that I don't operate like a typical politician. Because you see, if passing bipartisan legislation that helps Georgians was so easy, everybody would be doing it. And the Senate would probably work a lot better as well. But y'all, how many times have you seen Republicans have control of the House, the Senate, and the White House and still struggle? And it's always because it's in the Senate that's the problem. You know, I'm just a businessman. So y'all, I look for the best deal that I can get out there. And if you're a conservative Republican and you want a conservative government, I'll tell you something, I got a deal for you. How about this? How about a 2-for-1? With me as a nominee, you're not just going to get to replace John Ossoff, but you're going to replace a Democrat with an actual conservative who will fight. And I mean fight. You see, our problem in Washington is that not that we don't have enough Republicans, it's just that we don't always have the right Republicans. That's right. But I'm going to tell you, any Republican is better than a Democrat. But just because you've got an R behind your name, it doesn't mean that you'll stand up and take the tough votes that put Americans first. I've not just promised to do that, but I have delivered on it. Yo, hey, campaign slogans are cheap. Those slick advertisements, they're expensive. But the right voting record, now that's priceless. I will never apologize for being America first. As a matter of fact, I am unapologetically pro-God, pro-Trump, pro-Second Amendment, pro-strong military. By gosh, peace through strength works. If it's not good for Georgia and this country, I will never support it. Look, we need to replace John Ossoff with someone who will put our state first, not California and New York. I mean, y'all know this. John Ossoff doesn't represent our state, our people, or our values. I mean, he's effectively California's third U.S. senator. I mean, in fact, John Ossoff is as Georgia as putting pistachios in a Pepsi. I mean, look, President Trump brought us back from the brink of where we were under Joe Biden and the Democrats like John Ossoff. Y'all, we need to take advantage of every opportunity to deliver a safer, a more productive, a more affordable America. But right now, the holdup's in the U.S. Senate, and John Ossoff is blocking progress every opportunity he gets. I mean, he shut down the government to try to give illegals health care. I mean, men and women's sports. I mean, he supported open borders that allowed killers like Jose Ibarra come in. I mean, he's even opposed to the Save America Act, which most Americans out there support. It's just common sense. But John Ossoff, nah, he's against it. See, Georgians want bipartisan productivity and common sense. And that comes from being a small businessman who knows how to solve problems. They just want someone to go to Washington and fight for them. Like nursing students in Athens. Like young families who just want to buy a home. Our veterans. Or our farmers out there who've had some of the toughest time in decades due to a broken Washington. Or y'all, just anyone who wants a smaller, more productive government. So yeah, I look forward to prosecuting the case against John Ossoff. His first term versus my first term. And here's what you're going to see. Here's what you're going to see on that stage in October when I'm up there. You're going to see a successful small business owner who took the hard lessons he learned in the trucking industry, went to Washington, D.C., and delivered for the state of Georgia versus a guy who's never had a real job in his life. Someone who is out there has voted with those California crazies and those New York nut jobs to make your lives less safe, more expensive, and less free. Listen, John Ossoff's going to need every penny he's got to defend his record. And by the way, just to let you know, the bulk of his money has come from California and New York, those far left activists out there. So if you want to beat a tough incumbent, you better put up the toughest fighter. And I am the only candidate out there, y'all, the only candidate who has built a grassroots fundraising program with donations from every county in this state, all 50 states and territories. I'm the only candidate who's organized all 159 counties with over 800 convoy captains out there. You see, you don't win this state anymore by running the most TV ads. Sorry, cameras in the back. You don't. It takes real grassroots efforts and operations. Y'all, either the other candidates didn't care enough to do it, or either they just didn't inspire volunteers enough to sign up. But either way, doesn't matter. That is just a recipe for disaster in November if you put up some milquetoast nominee like that. Listen, we're not here tonight because I've been propped up by somebody else. Or because I've spent the most money in this thing. No, we're here because we work hard. We've got the best organization, the best voting record, and the best message, and that's what it's going to take to be John Ossoff. Now, everybody knows that I do best with the MAGA base. It's because they know I've always been with President Trump. Even when it wasn't popular, I was still out there on the trail fighting. But what you may not know is that, y'all, I poll best against John Ossoff in a head-to-head matchup. And I perform best with suburban voters and women. And why is that? I mean, is it because I got the best hair in the race? I don't know, maybe. No, it's because voters are resonating with the fact that I hadn't spent a career in politics, y'all. I'm just a businessman who gets results. And when tragedy struck in Georgia, I was willing to put politics to the side and do what was right. And John Ossoff, he wouldn't do that. That's the voters that you got to persuade if you're going to be successful in November. That's why I'm the only candidate out there that is either tied or within the margin of error with John Ossoff in every general election poll. So, what's our path to victory? Simple. Same as what it was for Governor Kemp and President Trump. You turn out the low propensity voters, Trump voters, and you have a message for the Atlanta suburbs. Because you see, the suburban and independent voters, they just want results. They want somebody to go to Washington to deliver for them. And I have delivered. See, you don't beat John Ossoff with no record. You win by having a record of results. And thank you. You see, I've shown that you can go to Washington and put Georgians first. You don't have to listen to your donors in California and New York. John Ossoff, he can't say that. You can pass bipartisan legislation that makes the lives of Georgians safer and more secure and never sacrifice your values to do it. When I signed up for this, I knew it was going to be tough. I knew it'd be tough to run against an incumbent U.S. Senator. But y'all, what I didn't know is that I was going to have to face an incumbent governor in the primary first. But listen, looking at the result tonight, it shows that nominees are not picked on West Paces Ferry. And in November, we're going to show that Georgia's senators are not picked by California and New York donors. You know how they're picked? They're picked by Georgians who want and reward candidates who are authentic, who mean what they say, who do what they promise. And just like what I've done in Congress in a bipartisan way, and all the while I've still held true to those conservative values. The secret to my success, y'all, it's just that I learned the hard lessons from the real world. When to compromise, when not to budge, how to get the best deal out there so that I keep families fed and employees employed, just to stay in business. Because I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I swear, y'all, I felt like that the federal government's #1 job was to put me out of business. And that's the perspective that I took with me and with every vote that I take. That's exactly what you need more of in the U.S. Senate, and that's exactly what you'll get with me in the U.S. Senate. You want to defeat John Ossoff and also put a real conservative fighter in the Senate? Because, Lord knows, y'all, we need more backbone over there. I need your help. I need your help. Listen, now, Mike Collins, help me get to the U.S. Senate, and I promise, this old trucker will deliver. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for...
He's been gnawing everything in the cab of this truck, barking and screaming. I think he's turned into a stalk of bananas. Come back. What's your 20? About 16 miles this side of Mississippi. Whoa, hold it. I just passed another Kodiak with a Kodak. This place is crawling with bears. Where the hell are you? Come back. I'm still trying to get rid of that Texas County Mountie. I don't know what the hell he wants. You know what he wants. How would you like to be the dude that handcuffs a legend? Listen, give me 5 minutes. We're going to put some moves on that mother. I'll meet you at Ole Miss. Well, you better hurry or we can just kiss that money goodbye. You understand that? I'll read you loud and clear. 10-4. You got the one snowman. I'm eastbound and down.
Eastbound and down, load it up and truck it. Are we going to do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch your bandit run. Keep your foot hard on the pedal, son, never mind them brakes. Let it all hang out, cause we got a run to make. The boys are thirsty in Atlanta, and there's beer in Texarkana, and we'll bring it back no matter what it takes. Eastbound and down, load it up and truck it. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch your bandit run.
Give Zola Thurman a round of applause. Life of politics. Look, let me tell you where we are. South DeKalb, some precincts in Cobb, in Clayton, and particularly a little town called Athens, Clark County are not yet in. And so we're going to wait until all the votes are in before we make any official word about our position here. But what I came down to say to you all is how much I and Zola and my entire family appreciate you. We love and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support that you've given us over the years. Thank you so much for the support that you've provided in this campaign. But look, the night is young, and we're going to continue to watch the results as they come in, and we're going to continue to pray and continue to put our faith in God and to continue to believe that we will elect a Democrat as the next governor of the state of Georgia. That is my commitment to you, and that is my commitment on behalf of my family. So thank you all so much. Enjoy the evening. The night is young. We have food. We don't have it's a cash bar though, isn't it? You got to pay your own way to the bar, but that's all right. That's all right. You all enjoy yourselves, and thank you so much for being here. We're waiting and we're watching, but the results are not yet final. So let's just keep on being watchful as the night unfolds. So thank you so much for being here once again. And you have my love and my support. And we'll just continue to watch this work that we put in. The boots on the ground all across this state. Look, I was telling someone, you know, this has been an amazing journey for me as a person. And we started on a dead-end dirt road a long time ago. And staying here is being one of those now in consideration to be the next governor of Georgia. You know, isn't God good? And I came also to tell you, don't be depressed. I go around Georgia. There are some people who are depressed and distressed about what Trump is doing in Washington. I come here to remind you one more time that Trump is in the White House, but God is forever on his throne. And he has this. He has this in his hand. He has all of us in his hand. And what we have to continue to do is keep the faith. We're going to keep working, as I said earlier. Listen, this is our Edmund Pettus Bridge moment. Yeah. We often celebrate John Lewis, as we should. We celebrate Hosea Williams, as we should. We celebrate those nameless, faceless foot soldiers who marched all across the South to break the grip of segregation and racial intolerance that black people were facing. But this is our Edmund Pettus Bridge moment. We're standing at the foot of the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And even though John Lewis and Hosea were standing there, on the other side of that bridge were horses and guns and billy clubs and tear gas. There was hatred and intolerance. But even in the face of that, they marched forward. They kept on marching. And so what I'm encouraging you all to do this night, and for those who are in the sound of my voice, that these are difficult times, but these are not hopeless times. And all we have to do is keep marching forward. Because remember, Edmund Pettus Bridge unfolded on March 7, 1965. Because they marched, let me tell you what was waiting behind the horses, the guns, and the billy clubs. It was the 1965 Voting Rights Act that was signed into law on August of 1965. We just got to keep the faith. We just got to keep marching. We will not grow weary. We will not give up, and we will not give in. We're going to have the faith of our fathers and mothers who brought us here. Because look, having health care for all of our citizens, that's not a black thing or a white thing. That's a right thing. Having quality schools for all of our children, regardless of their zip code, that's not a black thing or a white thing. That's a right thing. Having good jobs for all Georgians who want to work and support themselves, that's not black or white, it's just right. And this campaign has been built on the foundation of doing what's right for all the citizens of our great state. And I don't know about you all, but Zola and Mike and Micaiah gonna keep on marching. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all.
Coming here?
Okay, well, first of all, thank y'all for being here. Things didn't turn out as well tonight as we had hoped they would. It looks as if we've got about 20,000 votes to make up in order to make the runoff, so I don't know that that's going to happen, but I've already called Derek Dooley and I've already called Mike Collins and congratulated both of them, and I do wish them well. I wish them success. This is important. We need to have a senator from the state of Georgia who has conservative values and who will represent the values of the state of Georgia. Obviously very disappointed. The votes just weren't there, but I really, there's just, you know, being a person of faith and just having the opportunity that God has given me to serve in the capacity that I've served in as mayor, state rep, state senator, and in Congress. It's really been just an outstanding opportunity for me, and I thank God for that opportunity. I want to thank my wife especially and my family. It's and you know, this is not the end. Who knows what's going to happen? So we're going to continue to be involved and stay involved. I want to thank my staff especially and my supporters. We had such great supporters. Made so many great friends throughout the state. It's just it's been a wonderful experience, and I have no regrets whatsoever. I think the biggest regret I would have ever had would have been to get on the front porch on the rocking chair thinking I wished I'd have tried it. So I'm glad we did it. I'm glad God gave me this opportunity to do it. But I congratulate Derek Dooley. I congratulate Mike Collins. I wish both of them well. And make no mistake about it, I'll be supporting the Republican candidate and our nominee because this is important. We're right on policy. And President Trump is right and with his America First values. So.
What is in that runoff election?
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know that yet.
Congressman Carter,
or if I will.
What comes next for your political career?
Well, you know, that's to be seen. You know, two of my favorite verses are Jeremiah 29:11 and then Isaiah 41:10, and God is in control and He has a plan. So we'll see.
his hardest job is going to be up with me now.
He is going to have more time with you.
Yeah.
Sorry if this is asked, but do you plan on endorsing?
I do not plan on endorsing right now. No, let's let these guys go through the runoff and see what happens, and and who knows? I guess there's still an outside chance. There's still some votes out. I don't think there's 20,000, but nevertheless, we'll see.
As far as the 1st Congressional District goes, I was looking at the results earlier, and you really do have a lot of support. And there's still a couple of counties not counted within your district yet. What do you have to say to the people at home that supported you throughout your political career and into your Senate run?
Well, I want to thank them for this tremendous opportunity. Savannah's my home. It's where I've lived all my life, where I intend to live the rest of my life. We did move down to St. Simons recently, but it's still Savannah, and it will always be Savannah. And I'm just so honored to have served in so many different capacities. Who would have thought that the grandson of a sharecropper, the son of a shift worker in a paper mill from Fort Worth, Georgia, would have had the opportunities that I've had to walk the halls of Congress, to walk the halls of the state legislature, to be mayor of the city of Pooler. What a great, great opportunity. And I'm just thankful to God for all these opportunities.
I know you're not going to endorse anyone, but between Dooley and Collins, are you hopeful one of them able to take the U.S. Senate back?
I'm going to support the Republican nominee. There's no question about that. And again, because I think we're right on policy, and that's important.
Well, talk about how you told me earlier, whoever does it, they got to take on John Ossoff, and he's articulate. Talk about that.
Well, he is. This is going to be tough. There's no question about it. I still feel like we were the best candidate and gave us the best chance of winning, but obviously the voters didn't see it that way. But John Ossoff's got a boatload of money, and it takes money. He is sharp. He's articulate. It's going to be tough to debate him. I felt like I gave us that best opportunity, but again, it's not going to be me, and it's going to be one of the two of them. So, but I wish them well, and I will be glad to help anyone in any way that I can. But I do want to make one thing I don't want to miss is that I still got 7 months left in my term and representing the 1st Congressional District of Georgia, which is an honor and a privilege. And we plan to sprint through the finish line and continue to work hard in representing the people of the 1st District.
Congressman Carter, you mentioned earlier how the Republicans have had a difficult time trying to secure this Senate seat in Georgia.
Yes.
And why do you think that is?
Well, I think that first of all, we got to get out and vote. Republicans, you saw the early voting results. Democrats, I think, were up 150,000 votes, and Republicans have got to get out and vote, and we've got to be engaged in the process. That's one of the things. And then I think that we've had some good candidates over the years, and candidate quality does matter, but we just haven't been successful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all.
November, no matter what, we want a Democrat to be elected as governor. Walk us through that fight between now and November.
Well, I can't predict it, but look, we have to break nearly 30 years of Republican dominance in the governor's mansion. Obviously, government works better when there's two parties at the table. And I just believe that we have to get the brightest minds addressing those critical problems facing the nation. And I'll do what I've always done. We're going to fight to bring, number one, economic opportunities, better educational opportunities, and to be a bridge, to bring people together, not to tear them apart.
There's a lot of love in this room. Talk about the supporters and how much it means just to be in this room with so many people.
Well, Eric, when you start on a dead-end dirt road and a house with no indoor running water, and get to this point in life, I told someone last week, they said, what about election day? I said, no, I'm thanking God for the journey to be at this point, to know people like yourself, to have this lady, my wife, standing here, this wonderful lady. So I'm blessed, a young man, I really am. And I'm just happy to have been on the journey, and I'm going to continue this journey as long as I'm here, only served with breath and ability to make a contribution to this state and our nation. No, that's it. Just thank you to all the people who contributed to the campaign, who prayed for us and supported us, not just this year, but in all the previous years. And look, we just got to keep working. We got to go to work. We'll wake up tomorrow morning and we will do what we've done every morning for the last 36 years. We'll figure out what can we do to help at least one person along the way.
I was the president of the University of North Georgia Young Democrats up until last week, where I graduated from the University of North Georgia with political science and communications. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited that you guys are here, and I'm really excited about the results that we just got. So I had the pleasure of hosting Mayor Bottoms when she came up to our neck of the woods, the only candidate for governor that came up this year. She took her time and effort to visit with us, and she was always the last person in the room. When talking to students at UNG, Mayor Bottoms was extremely attentive and listened to the questions that we had. Important questions. Questions about the job market, access to education, and the environment, which are all super important to the average Georgian. Many young people, like myself, have a deep care for the environment. Living in North Georgia, I'm able to see the greatest beauties of Georgia. And we have to preserve that and care for that. And that's something that Mayor Bottoms will do as governor of Georgia. After she spent her time with the Young Democrats, she went and spent her time with the Lumpkin County Democrats, who are my older neighbors of Lumpkin County. And they had a great, productive conversation. Those older folks are some of the most vulnerable people in Georgia, and she took her time to talk to every single one of them and give them the care and attention that they needed. She was able to have productive conversations with all of them and took care and answered every single concern they had. The families in North Georgia struggle a lot with health care, attainable housing, and voting access. The new gerrymandering efforts that Governor Kemp cowardly fell to will affect all of them and will undermine the freedom that these families have. Surrounded by some of the most beautiful views in the state of Georgia, the people of Lumpkin County and rural Georgia are left behind. They are not focused on.
Pretty big group this goal. I know.
And that's the reason I'm here, because that's the place that I love. And Mayor Bottoms gave us the attention that we needed. Because growing up in Georgia, I have only known a governor that has undermined my right to choose who represents me, to choose who represents you. And when we paved the way for Keisha Lance Bottoms to take the governor's mansion, we paved the way for a better Georgia. Thank you so much for all of you being here. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and God bless the great state of Georgia.
Shortly to someone that Marty and I have basically known our whole lives, and the Dooley family, such a big influence on our lives. Coach Dooley, Miss Dooley, like second parents to us, but they were like that to a lot of kids, a lot of young people that they motivated and looked after for a long time. Just incredible people. So we know firsthand how Derek Dooley was raised. We know his character. We know his abilities. But I want to remind you of something that happened before Derek Dooley ever got in this U.S. Senate race. Some of his opponents and the Democrats started attacking him. You know why? Because he's the most dangerous candidate to beat John Ossoff in a general election. Which is the second reason that we're supporting him. Not only is he a great guy and we know his character, but he's also a political outsider. And that is what we need to beat John Ossoff. We have to win this general election. We need our nominee to be the best candidate to do that. And that candidate is our next United States Senator, Derek Dooley.
Hey, listen, I got to start by apologizing. If it was really up to me, I'd still be over there because if the clock hadn't hit 000, this is a new deal for me when this thing gets called before it's over. So I apologize for being so late. Thank you, Governor and the First Lady. I can't tell you what an honor it has been, not only to get their support, but to travel all around the state with them. I think over the last 6-7 weeks, we hit 62 stops in 59 counties. They are out there busting their tail because they love this state, they love the Georgia people, and their leadership has been inspirational to me. Biggest thanks to my amazing wife, Allison. There's no way I would be standing here today without the sacrifices she has made for her career, for my family. She's been the rock. I mean, we've been through a lot in 31 years, changing professions, moving jobs. She's made me a better husband. She's made me a better dad. She's made me a better person. And oh, by the way, she's still working on me. That's never going to end. So thank you, Allison, for staying with me. Thank you to my family. I mean, it's unreal. You know, my mom, my brother, my sisters, my in-laws, nephews, the family's been incredible. It's so humbling. I can't thank you enough. The friends I have here from so many different, Clark Central High School friends, my law school friends here, my New Reagan County friends. It's just, I can't tell you, it's the most humbling experience I've ever been through. I'm new at this, and it's one of the hardest things ever is to ask your family and friends, you know, for their effort, their financial support, and I just have been overwhelmed with humility, and I'll always forever be grateful for what y'all have done to help us. And of course, thank you all for the supporters all around the state, many of whom I had never even met before, but got in front of them and they believed in me, they supported me, they spread the news, I borrowed their reputation, they gave us financial help, and I'll just always be forever grateful for the people that believed in me out of the gate. So thank you all. I want to congratulate Congressman Buddy Carter. He's an honorable, self-made man. He's been dedicated in principled public service to our state, our country, and especially in the Savannah area. Let me tell you something, man. I'd go down to that Savannah area and nobody even wanted to talk to me. I mean, they were all in for Congressman Carter, and I just appreciate his service, and he was kind enough to give me a call. But tonight, guys, we punched our ticket to the runoff. And that's what it's all about. That was our goal. 10 months ago, we were polling at 0%. All right? 2 months ago, we were polling at 10%, and everybody's saying it's over. Collins is running away with it. And guess what? The D.C. crowd, Governor Kemp mentioned, they've been attacking me. They didn't want an outsider. They want an insider because they're all in bed together, and that's why we were attacked before I was even announced as a candidate. It wasn't because their ideas were better. It wasn't because they were better equipped to represent the Georgia people. We were attacked because we were a threat to what's going on up there in D.C. I ran in this thing. Listen. ran because I was sick of watching the careerism that's going on up there, the corruption that's going on up there, the inaction where there's a lot of yelling and screaming and nobody's getting anything done. As I traveled around this state over the last 10 months, voters feel the same way. They're sick of it too. And voters are frustrated that we got a senator in John Ossoff who voted 98% for Joe Biden, does not represent the values of the Georgia people. All right? Yes. Voters that I talk to, they want leadership that reflects your values, not the values of California or New York or the donors of the Democratic Party. They want leadership that will always remember that I work for you. You're the boss, and I will never forget that as your next U.S. Senator. Because good leadership right now, they know we need term limits in Congress. They know it. Good leadership. They know we need to ban this insider stock trading nonsense that's going on up there, and they know that nobody up there in Congress should be taking a check when they shut the government down and the American people are suffering. For months they counted us out. They said that Mike Collins had this race in the bag. He's so far ahead, nobody could catch him. Well, let me tell you something, guys. We proved him dead wrong tonight, and we got all the momentum heading to the thing. Because look, beating John Ossoff is not going to be done by another D.C. politician. That's not how they're going to beat him. And while I was getting attacked for 10 months, I kept my focus on our message to the voters. I wasn't worried about the other guys. And everybody kept asking me, you never talk about the other guys. I was worried about my message to the voters. But let me tell you something. We already got a preview of what the playbook is going to be for John Ossoff if Mike Collins is the nominee. John Ossoff's going to take all that money he's got from all over the state and he's going to put his Red Lobster bib on and go to work. Because we saw it in Buddy's commercials. We saw it in the debate highlighting about Mike being brought up on House ethics charge by his Republican peers, about all the corruption on misusing taxpayer funds. And that's exactly what John Ossoff's going to do. Keeping him on defense, all the while the spotlight never gets turned on who John Ossoff is. Well, let me tell you, he can't do that stuff to me. We're going on offense on him.
Hi, my name is Lincoln. A lot of people know Keisha Lance Bottoms as our next governor. You've seen her give great speeches and make big decisions. But to me, she's my mom. The one always in the carpool line for drop-off and pickup, who really gets into Falcon games, who makes chicken and rice, and no matter how busy she is, she stops learning a TikTok dance with me. My mom is the best. She really cares about our family, and to her, Georgia is family. She's going to be a great governor, and I'm so excited to introduce her now. My mom, our next governor, Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Return portions of the Voting Rights Act.
There is an active and multiple FBI agents here.
Dealing with redrawing Georgia's congressional maps will pay higher premiums. Georgia's rural hospitals are in crisis. I am a battle-tested leader.
This time in our history calls for people who have the courage to stand up, the courage to fight, someone who has the heart for community, for people throughout the state. I believe that I'm going to win. It's not about me, it's about all of us. I've gone
gone toe-to-toe with the Trump administration and won.
Hello, Georgia. My name is Keisha Lance Bottoms, and I am humbled to be your Democratic nominee for governor of this great state. Together with all of you, we have shown what happens when the people of Georgia show up and believe that their votes are our voice and that our voices will never be silenced. I am reminded that the grace of God is sufficient. When we launch this campaign, is that God calling? When we launched this campaign, I had no idea where the support and resources would come from, but I repeatedly said, God does not give vision without provision. And that provision has been through each of you who voted, who volunteered, who donated, and prayed for our campaign. I am grateful. Your support means more than you know. My faith is often my guide and has often given me clarity during some of the most challenging times in my life. I relied on that faith after the last presidential election when I prayed and I asked for guidance what I would be called to do in this season. It is that faith that has led me to offer myself as a candidate for governor of this great state. I am a fighter. And I could not rest knowing that people across this state needed someone to stand in the gap and fight on their behalf. And Georgians sent a clear message tonight that they want a fighter. Someone who will stand up to Donald Trump in all of the chaos that's raising costs, that's hurt our economy, that threatens the rights of generations, that generations before us fought for and died for. Yes. And let's be clear, the only people Burt Jones and Rick Jackson have fought for are themselves. Their campaigns are not about Georgians. They are not waking up every single day thinking about the challenges that our families are facing across this state and how to take them on. And they certainly do not see Donald Trump as someone to stand up to. No. They want to be like him. So no matter who emerges from their runoff, the choice this November will be clear. Burt Jones and Rick Jackson have spent their lives enriching themselves and are running for governor to do just that. I'll be a governor who will always fight for you. going to spend every day through November talking about my plans to make sure every Georgian has an opportunity to succeed. It means stopping Donald Trump every time his policies hurt Georgia, and also taking action here to make life better for people across this state. It means that we must expand Medicaid in this state, making sure that everybody has access to health care. It means going to fight to lower costs in this state and ensure that families can afford to buy a home or rent a home. It means we got to crack down on corporate landlords in this state. It means that we are going to invest in our children's education from day one, working to make sure that pre-K is available to every 4-year-old in this state. It means supporting our educators by raising their starting pay and eliminating their state income taxes. And we are going to support our veterans in this state and their families who stand up for us each and every day. It means we are going to use every single tool that we have in our toolbox to protect the fundamental right to vote and to ensure that every voice in Georgia is heard. Georgia is the cradle of the civil rights movement, and we will not allow this state to go backwards. As the great urban poet once said, I ain't never scared. With everything that we have faced, people have rightly asked, can it be done and can we win? And we know the answer is absolutely yes, because we know the people who came before us to fight these battles. People like my aunt, Ruby Doris Smith Robinson, a 17-year-old Spelman College student who became a leader of SNCC. Congressman John Lewis would often well up with tears in his eyes when he told me about her fearless spirit. I think of our native son, Martin Luther King Jr., who had a dream that one day we would all be judged by the content of our character and not the color of our skin. And I think of that peanut farmer from Plains, Georgia, Jimmy Carter, who defied all the odds to be elected the governor of Georgia before his election as president of the United States. I think of Senators Reverend Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff, who have shown us how to make history, how to win, and how to get to work fighting for all Georgians. So when people ask me if it can be done, I think of the words of Nelson Mandela, who said, it always seems impossible until it's done. We will get it done in Georgia. To my husband, Derek, my best friend and my rock, and to our 4 beautiful children, Lance, Lennox, Lincoln, and Langston, who is sick today. So thank you, Langston, for being here. He is under the weather. He's sweating right now. So thank you, baby. Thank you. You're welcome. To my mama, my sister Tracy, my brother Darian, and all of my siblings and my cousins and aunts and uncles and extended family and my dearest friends. From the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. I would not be here without you, and I don't ever take your support for granted. To my daddy, Major Lance, and my grandparents, and all those in the great cloud of witnesses. I know that you are cheering us on tonight. I am the composition of their dreams and the ones they pushed me to dream for myself. And to my incredible team, you all have crisscrossed this state. You have made phone calls. You have knocked on doors. You are the real MVPs. And thank you to all the other candidates in this race who have put themselves forward on the public stage. It has been an honor to stand alongside you. You all know my roots in this state run really deep. I am at least a fifth-generation Georgian, able to trace my family's history to a plantation in Crawfordville, the birthplace and home of Alexander H. Stevens, who served as the 50th governor of Georgia and vice president of the Confederate States of America. Around the time when my grandmother's grandparents, Shepherd and Betsy Peak, were likely enslaved on a plantation in Crawfordville, Georgia. And here I stand before you. As the Democratic nominee to be the 84th governor of this state. So for everybody who believes that the breadth of our differences is too wide to overcome, know whether you live in a city or a rural community, if you are a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent, the same red clay runs through all of our veins. No one ever said it would be easy, but we are reminded that the smooth side of the mountain doesn't give us much to hold on to. It's the climb up the rough side that allows us to hold on, to plant our feet, and to keep going. So between now and November, we are going to fight for every single vote in every county, in every corner of this state. We are going to knock on doors and have conversations with people across the communities of this state, and we are going to build a Georgia that works for all of us. So tonight, let's celebrate, and tomorrow let's get back to work. Georgia, the power is in our hands. Go let them know.
So much Angela can hear you. You're coming to me after the break, okay.